We were victims of it too at first, but a lot of times we get caught up in the image of how this journey's supposed to look. So I'm saying, like, we really get caught up in the image of how the journey's supposed to look, you know, as opposed to, you know, keeping the image of what that final destination is supposed to look like.
Yeah, big picture.
So I'm saying,
Right.
so don't get caught up in like, yo, dang, you're gonna have to be in the mud a lot of times. You're gonna have to switch up. You're gonna have to look crazy sometimes. So I'm saying, but you know, as long as you have that end goal in mind and you get into it, for sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just don't marry any ideas. You know what I'm saying? Be very open to change, especially if once you sit down and you look at it, and the change benefits you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm saying
we
we made radical changes to like, yo, who we are and what we do since we've been in business. So I'm saying, it used to be, we do things now that we used to look like, dang, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
so I'm saying, like,
6 months ago, like, we wouldn't do it.
like,
So I'm saying, but today, like, yo, it's something that we've mastered, and like, yo, we leaders in the space with it. You feel me?
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, talk on that. So what kind of things did you feel like, nah, like I would never, or whatever, or maybe even laugh at? You know what I'm saying?
Laugh, but photography.
For sure. Yeah. I'm saying.
You're getting into your business and it's not really feeling how you thought it would feel. Sometimes it feels like you just need somebody to throw ideas back and forth with, somebody to talk about a whole plan, something for marketing or branding, some type of strategy, put something together and execute on it. If you are feeling these type of things, you need to make sure you hit up CrystalVzns. All of your branding, content, marketing, and everything in between. They will sit you down and make sure you got it right. Again, hit up CrystalVzns. That's Crystal VZNS on Instagram. Back to the episode. What's going on, y'all boys? Welcome back to another edition of the CrystalVzns, aka the Creators Playbook podcast, man. Today, you know, we got somebody a little special. You know, on this podcast, we talk a lot about creatives and how they can find and monetize their passions, their talents, their skills, and everything in between, man. And so today, you know, we got a real nice staple in Broward County, right? And I want to welcome out 2711 Studios, man. What's going on with y'all boys?
What's good, fam? What's good?
Really, yeah. So go ahead, introduce yourselves. You know, for me, 2711 Studios, you know, it was a couple months back. I remember I talked to you, Shaun. So Shaun and Wayne. Okay, I'm okay with names. I'm not the greatest, but okay, Shaun and Wayne. So a couple months ago, I'm still looking for a studio to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and, you know, whatever for myself.
Yeah.
And I came over here because I was just looking, you know, scrolling. I came across y'all, and I was like, okay, they got some good stuff on their page. They're doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me check them boys out. Let me, you know what I'm saying, see if we can make something, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they could give me some tips, this, that, whatever, right? So I done came out or whatever. And, you know what I'm saying, like I said, y'all boys about y'all business, right? So
nah,
like,
for sure.
Oh, and I'm like, okay. And I don't know, I just wanted to say that part, like, it's nice to kind of see it come full circle, you know what I'm saying, to where, you know what I'm saying, I can provide y'all value. Because, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying, I could come through and ask questions and da-da-da-da, but is that worth y'all's time? You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully, like, I get it, I'm not even mad in a sense, but now, you know what I'm saying, got in my bag, got a little creative, whatever, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, you know, now everybody could benefit. And so, but yeah, like I said, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, you know, what y'all mean to Broward County, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, I see y'all definitely do a lot for Broward County. I see y'all do a lot for, you know what I'm saying, the culture, our culture, and, you know what I'm saying, and y'all do everything, you know, baby showers, you know what I'm saying, all types, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, that's my little introduction of 2711 Studios, you know what I'm saying, my backstory or whatever on how I got to know y'all. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, well, of course, my name's Shaun, born and raised in Broward, real Broward baby. Like short, I went to a few different schools growing up, so I'm saying, ended up going to FIU, dropped out of there. College was way too expensive, so I'm saying, and then I really only went, you know, because of parental pressures. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur as a jit, like.
Okay.
So I'm saying, like, since I was maybe ninth grade, I always had a hustle, always was selling something, had a car wash. Used to sell snacks, used to sell anything, you know.
Was selling them Casios.
Oh yeah, I used to sell watches.
You sold watches, like G-Shock and all that. Or they even before the G-Shock was hot.
I don't know who's gonna see it, but it was Fugazi.
Oh,
Fugazi Casios. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always had a hustle. You know, I knew Wayne since high school. You know, our business partners, Kev, Drew. You know, got to shout out Daniel and Matt too. Like we all grew up together in high school.
Yeah. What high school y'all went to?
BA, man.
Yeah.
Which one?
What Anderson?
Oh, okay. Y'all boys far. I was at South Plant.
South Plant.
Right down there.
Oh yeah, that's way over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, you know, we just, not to go too much into the story right now, but you know, we linked up. We all had a knack for entrepreneurship. And we just said, yo, we actually started with a dealership first.
Okay.
We still have it, but you know, the studio ended up taking off first. That's like a, you know, quick backstory for sure.
Okay, I got you. So how we looking now? Like, I guess, you know what I'm saying, in your perspective, how we looking now? Like, what do you guys do? Who is, you know, nobody never heard of 2711 Studios, let's just say. How would you, you know, introduce your company, how you got it now?
I mean, in short, you know, 2711 Studios is like the dopest creative space in South Florida. I'm saying all-around creative playground. So I'm saying it's not just a slogan. You feel me? I mean, you see it, bro. It's everything that you need to, you know, put on your production. And just like you said, we're a real staple in the community of Broward. Really focus on like showcasing Black beauty, and that's what Broward is about for us. You feel me? And that's why when you mention the name 2711, that's what we hope comes to mind. You feel me? Right. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So how do you guys get to the name 2711? What does that mean to y'all?
I mean, people ask us that all the time because I guess it's just like it sounds arbitrary. But 2711, that's a crib. That's where I used to stay at.
Okay.
You know I'm saying? That's where everybody used to, you know, connect. We used to, you feel me?
Yeah, homage. Yeah,
you feel me? So we are paying homage to like, yo, the humble beginnings. You feel me?
Wow. Okay.
And trying to keep this name like going forward and staying grounded. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. That's solid. So, you know, you kind of touched a little bit on it, how, you know, everybody was a little bit entrepreneurial mindset. So, you know what I'm saying, bring me back into those times, you know what I'm saying, coming up, and, you know, how, I guess to link it, like, okay, you know, I'm selling G-Shots, but how does that mean, you know, okay, I can actually do this in the real world, you know what I'm saying, in terms of an entrepreneurial field?
So personally, like, I never wanted to go to college. Like I never had like, you know, an ideal career. So I'm saying, so I ended up going to school for business, of course. But you know, growing up, like I said, I always had a hustle. So I'm saying, you know, when we linked up though, like we all had like a certain drive and like a certain knack for entrepreneurship and a certain like leadership about us.
Okay.
So I'm saying, so like we were part of an organization in high school, you know what I'm saying, and we really, it wasn't anything that made money, but we really got to like see and like in ourselves certain characteristics and qualities.
Yeah, learn certain skills.
Yeah, learn certain skills, and it was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? We ended up all going to college, and we all ended up dropping out. Me, Wayne, and Kev. You know, down in Miami, you know, we always had something selling, always, you know, sometimes we was in and out of jobs, but, you know, we always had something selling. So, I don't remember the year. I think it was late 2018. You know, we ended up having to move back up to Broward, but I stayed in Miami. And I remember just one day, you know, I'm just talking to them boys. I'm like, yo, like we just working. We barely making shit, bro. Oh, my,
yeah,
13. Like we barely making anything. You know, I just like, I could see everybody was frustrated. We all like, damn, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Like, we know we destined for like more than this, like these little, you know, dead end jobs.
Yeah.
So like, we just all, you know, we was in a group chat. We like, yo, we gonna do a dealership.
Okay.
So I'm saying, like, we gonna do a dealership. We researched it. So I'm saying we was gonna start off wholesaling cars at first, but ain't achieved that. So we got into the retail space.
Yeah. So wait, how many of there are? There's 5, 4?
So.
4.
Yeah, so in 2711, it's in the studio business, it's 4 of us.
Okay.
At 2711, the brand, the umbrella, it's 6 of us.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Explain the difference, the brand versus the studio?
I mean, the brand, just like you said, is homage to who we are as a collective.
I got you.
So everything that we pursue under that entity is as a whole is 2711.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So we all have different ventures within 2711 that we pursue. You feel me?
Okay.
So it's bigger than just the studio.
The studio. Yeah. So what other things do y'all dabble in and touch on?
I mean, we have 2711 Studios, 2711 Auto. We do experience trips. Just to explain what an experience trip is, we create like content outside the country, right? And travel is something that we into. So like So as an entity, it's like it's bigger than just like the studio.
And you know, we have music involved in that too. So I'm saying with Phoenix and Drew, you know what I'm saying, we definitely trying to take the independent route and you know, and see how like our homies really like flourish in the music space, because them boys that nigga sing and rap, and that nigga Drew could really rap. So I'm saying,
so photography just one facet to it.
Right. Okay. So y'all expanding my mind of, you know what I'm saying, what it means, what 2711 is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad we're able to provide some context on it, because somebody might see and just be like, yo, you know.
Right, just the studio. Yeah. Nah, for sure. Okay. So So y'all was continue with what you were saying. Y'all had the auto stuff, and y'all still have that today, and that's still running.
Yeah, so it's not more so running. I mean, we do it like, you know, one-off situation.
Okay,
we might have a car, sell a car.
Right.
You know, main focus for what that business was, well, that business transitioned. So we opened up a dealership space in 2018. It's a small 800 square foot just bay, and we were running for a couple months, but it wasn't turning over profits. But an idea that we had, because, you know, we had homies inside of our organization that were creatives, right?
Right.
We thought like, yo, let's open up a studio, use that to subsidize the cost of overhead for the dealership, you feel me?
Oh,
so inside the bay, we run our studio, and outside we fix cars and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So this was supposed to be
exactly,
but then it flipped.
We just had to roll with the punches of it, you feel me?
Right. Nah, that's it right there, because I feel like that's a gem, rolling with the punches, because, you know what I'm saying, you never necessarily know exactly what it is, you know what I'm saying, but you know you in that space, you kind of working. So I guess, like, talk to the people on that, like, you know what I'm saying, influence somebody who, you know what I'm saying, they might have changed, you know what I'm saying, whatever they want to do a few times or whatever the case may be, but, you know what I'm saying, y'all know from experience it doesn't always go as originally planned, but, you know, however, yeah.
But we talk about it a lot, though. We talk about like
not marrying like
ideas.
Not marrying ideas.
That's hard.
Yeah, we
that's
just
hard
build
to
up experiences and really like, yo, get out there in the field and get to working.
Yeah.
What sticks. You feel me? And we roll with that. But of course, we have like a grand scheme vision, like he said.
Okay.
We want to be entrepreneurs. We want to make money off our intellectual property, and we want to step out into the world and make our stamp. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it doesn't more so matter like, yo, whether it's this, that, or other thing. You feel me?
Okay.
It's just like, yo, what works for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely say to another entrepreneur, like, I think a lot of times, and like we were victims of it too at first, but a lot of times we get caught up in the image of how this journey's supposed to look. So I'm saying, like, we really get caught up in the image of how the journey's supposed to look, you know, as opposed to, you know, keeping the image of what that final destination is supposed to look like.
Yeah, big picture.
So I'm saying,
Right.
so don't get caught up in like, yo, dang, you're gonna have to be in the mud. A lot of times you're gonna have to switch up. You're gonna have to look crazy sometimes. So I'm saying, but you know, as long as you have that end goal in mind and you get into it, for sure.
Right.
You gotta be straight.
You just don't marry any ideas. You know what I'm saying? Be very open to change, especially if once you sit down and you look at it, and the change benefits you.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm saying we made radical changes to like, yo, who we are and what we do since we've been in business. So I'm saying, it used to be, we do things now that we used to look like, dang, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like,
6 months ago, like
6
we
months
wouldn't
ago,
do.
like,
So I'm saying, but today, like, yo, it's something that we've mastered, and like, yo, we leaders in the space with it. You feel me?
Wow. Yeah. So talk on that. So what kind of things did you feel like, nah, like I would never, or whatever, or maybe even laugh at? You know what I'm saying?
Laugh, but photography.
That's
No BS. Like, if we're gonna keep it a buck, like, we never had anything. Like I said, Daniel and our homie Javis, you know, RIP, were the only two. And Matt.
Yeah.
Were our only homies that, you know, were photographers.
Okay.
And when we opened the studio, it was like, okay, we're gonna, you know, host a space for creatives instead of like doing the photo shoots ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm saying being photographers
Because we weren't creatives at all. Like, so I'm saying
Yeah.
we'd be able to like put together certain concepts and stuff, but it's not like actively creating wasn't something that we were into. You feel me?
Exactly.
Okay.
So a lot of what we have right now is like nurtured creativity.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, as
Yeah.
opposed you have those natural creatives too. So I'm saying, but what we have is a lot of nurtured creativity.
Right. Yeah, but I would say though, like, in order to be in that space, you know what I'm saying, and do things and flourish, you know what I'm saying, you would have to have, those skills and talents and stuff like that, right?
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The main thing that we focused on when we first started out is that we paid attention to the market. So we saw what everybody was doing, what made sense and what didn't make sense. And we took everything that made sense, but it was after like getting in and like rolling with it that we picked up certain things. Because when we started out, I want to say like 3-4 months into starting out, we really got tapped in with some dope photographers in Broward. Like they were using our space, we were paying attention. So it's like we got a cheat code to mentorship, you feel me?
Right.
Because we're able to pay attention to what they did in studio, out of studio, how they ran their business, you feel me? And then we capitalize on that, and then like we're able to pivot into what we are today, you feel me?
Right. Yeah. So that makes me kind of think about, you know what I'm saying, how important like your network is.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? And the people that are around you and that the people that you are around. So speak on that, like, how do you get in the room, you know what I'm saying, initially?
I mean, it's just like how you got in the room, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how you started, bro. It's like how you strategically position yourself, right? Because you look at it black and white. A lot of people hit us up and shoot us a DM like, yo, bro, let's connect.
What does that mean?
What that really means? So I'm saying, what does that look like for me and you? You feel me?
Yeah.
But you have ways you can approach it, and a unique way. And of course, I'm not saying everybody to do this because this is high entry, but it was a blessing in disguise for us because our entry into the creative space and being able to be creative leaders was opening up a space where we could allow so many creatives to come in and utilize our space, and we're able to get around them, pick their brain, build relationships, you feel me?
Right.
So it was an opportunity for us, but of course everybody can't do that high entry, but it's just like you said, bro, you feel me? You gotta find your entry, you feel me? And then you're gonna get what you need to get.
Right. Providing the value.
Provide the value, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just about to say
Oh, you was gonna say that? Okay, yeah. Okay, so throw me. So I'm kind of seeing, you know what I'm saying, how the pieces are falling together now. So remind me of the names of who the photographers and creatives were.
So
of your group.
2711 Studios, the business. You have myself, Wayne, Andrew, and Kevin.
Andrew and Kevin. So those are the creatives.
Yeah.
The photographers, and they be putting stuff together.
Nah.
Okay.
So those
are our business partners.
So
in the
none of
studio.
the 4 who opened 2711 Studios were photographers.
No. Nothing like that.
So
Okay.
I'm saying we weren't creators.
Okay,
The only
okay.
creators were Daniel, Jarvis, RIP, and Matt.
Okay. So Daniel, Jarvis, and Matt.
Jarvis, yeah.
Jarvis. Okay, and Matt. Okay. So we got Daniel and Matt today, right?
Yeah, today,
Okay.
for sure.
So what is their role in, you know what I'm saying, playing like as the creative?
2711 or the studio?
Yeah, in general as creatives to the collective.
I think,
Them niggas,
bro, honestly
them
speaking,
boys,
honestly speaking, they've been like, the mentors that we needed in the space. You feel me?
sure, yeah.
Daniel is by far the dope. Let me go on record and say this.
most
The-
talented person you will meet, bruh.
Bro,
Okay.
listen.
The man could do anything.
Anything, bro. Anything. Just as a creative, so I'm saying he dominates any creative space he goes into.
Wow.
So just being around that type of energy, and then like seeing him create, being in the room while he's putting together his productions, like it really inspires you and it gets you to pick up on certain things. And just if I pick up 20% of the creativity and the talent that he has, I'm gonna dominate the space.
Wow.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just 20% of it, bro. The man is super talented.
Right.
So I'm saying.
Right.
And then Matt, shout out to that boy Matt. You a graduate. So I'm saying.
Okay.
Business administration. So with the photography, you feel me? We got the mentorship in the space. We were able to ask certain questions, pick his brain in certain ways. You feel me? So
operational.
yeah, so I'm saying. So we really got the opportunity to sharpen ourselves with the people that we surround ourselves with. You feel me?
Yeah. So do you feel like people like in y'all collective, like, is there kind of, I don't want to say assigned like assignments, you know what I'm saying? Or is it just like
within the studio?
Yeah.
There's strict roles.
Okay, talk on that.
Outside of that, we kind of keep it liquid. That way we can keep the visions, you know.
Oh,
yeah, but
okay.
In studio, there's strict roles. So we have photographers in the studio, myself, Shaun, Kev. So I'm saying we shoot, but then outside of shooting, you know, there's a business side of photography.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's certain things that we focus on, whether it's post-production, digital marketing, social media marketing. So on a whole, we have roles that we have to master, right?
Okay.
And one thing that Shaun kind of led the way on when we first started was ensuring that all of us focused and hyper-focused on a skill that could take the business forward.
Okay.
And we locked in for like 6 months to a year, like locking in, making sure that we own these skills. And today,
buying
you know,
courses,
we're lethal.
Okay, yeah.
Joining, you know, buying
Like masterminds and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
masterminds, everything. Joining
Yeah.
like those monthly subscriptions where they give you ideas and things like that. We just really locked in.
Yeah. So talk on that right there, because I feel like sometimes, like when we get into these spaces of, you know, masterminds and courses and stuff like that, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, that's a scam, that's this, that, da, 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 da. And so, you know, as you come up, you know that, you know, you kind of have to polish yourself. You kind of have to elevate your mind, you know what I'm saying, in terms of what's possible, number one, but then also, you know, your skill set and stuff like that. So talk on, you know, first how you even, you know, thought to, okay, let me grab this, and then talk on how that elevated you to the next step.
So perfect example of that, right? When Shaun brought it to us and said, yo, let's lock in, let's find something that we're gonna like, yo, you know, sharpen ourselves, be talented in. When we first started offering photography as a service, we didn't shoot ourselves, right? We hired photographers to come in and do the shoots for us. But how we gonna get our clients? We had to build traffic. We had to get eyes on us, our brand, and the services that we offer, right? So the recommendation was that, yo, we pick something. So I locked in with Facebook ads, locked in on digital marketing, right? I took a course with Kevin Joseph. I don't know if you know him, but he's a strategist when it comes to advertising on social media, right? Locked in for about 4 or 5 months in the course. I was able to pull down crazy numbers with ads. That's how we got booked. I'm saying,
Right.
that's how we took off. That's how we locked in crazy numbers.
Yeah. So
crazy numbers.
how we looking like in terms of beforehand, and you did the course and you started, and then after, like what kind
out
of?
the gate, when we offered photography as a service, we made sure we understood ads before we even went out the gate and did it.
Okay.
You can't even skip that step.
Yeah, you can't even skip that step. Yeah.
You know, Wayne definitely locked in and found a lot of YouTube videos. Like he got a whole playlist just of YouTube videos, you know, discussing Facebook ads and you know, subsequently Instagram ads. So yeah, like we knew about ads prior, but then I don't know if we're insatiable or anything, but it was just like, yo, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, there's a next level. So I'm saying we're getting these on for free on YouTube, and people are selling something else. There's obviously something in it because people are spending,
People keep
you know,
buying.
$5,000, $6,000, $7,000, you know, to be in these programs. So we just took a chance on it, and then, you know, like luckily, not even luckily, because we did the research, you know, on Kevin Joseph, and he's, you know, he's dominant in the space, and you know, we really just locked in it. I'll say not to, you know, give out too much numbers, but we doubled.
Doubled it. Okay.
No, for sure. That was a difference maker in our business, you know. And then speaking of like, yo, being able to pivot and like, yo, utilize certain things. 6 months ago, or was it like 7 months ago, we weren't even like photographers.
Right.
We didn't even shoot our own packages. Like I said, we hired people to shoot, and then, you know, found another opportunity for us to master something else. We stepped in photography, and I mean, if you look at it, the work we produce now, bro.
It's like nothing unnatural.
Yeah, for sure. And we just took like the same principles, you know, that when we were learning the business side, you know, applied to the creative side. Like, you know, we take the courses, we obsess over it. So I'm saying, at least
continue on that, like obsessing and really.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, getting into it.
Yeah, obsessing. We actually on a fast right now, and one of the things like we require of each other is like an hour of educational content every day. Okay. So I'm saying, so that's like an hour of YouTube videos. Even if it's 5 minutes of video, you got to make it up to an hour if you're, you know, listening to a photography podcast, whatever it may be. So yeah, just obsessing over things because, you can't get too much information. There's so many different perspectives. There's so many different people out there that are gonna share that little gem. So I'm saying that you didn't even know, like hypothetically, like, oh yes, let's say somebody told you need this light, right? But they didn't include the information that you needed to move the light, 5 steps to the right or something. So I'm saying, so you just really obsessing over it and locking in, not hesitant to pay for knowledge when we need to, not hesitating to ask questions, not hesitating to try certain things.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
Yeah. So on that note of you guys, keeping each other accountable, how does that work? Making sure everybody builds to the next, because you might have some homies, like for me, I got some homies, and it's like, first of all, one of them is like in a completely different space, you get what I'm saying? But him and I, we're coming together, and we're trying to, create this collective to where, all of us can, really sharpen each other, elevate. And sometimes it's because he's outside of the space that's going to help me, because like you said, it's going to be something that you would never even think about. You get what I'm saying? And now you can apply that in your space. But I guess I'm kind of looking for, how it works in terms of like, I don't know, really, I don't know, step by step. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Like accountability?
Yeah. In your accountability, how does that work between everybody?
Honesty. That's
like I'm sorry, is there like y'all come to like, all right, boom, we got a meeting once a month, and talk on like the legitimate parts of it.
Oh yeah, of course. So how we go about things, let's say Wayne has an idea today, right? Wayne will table it, write it down, think about all the elements he can.
Okay.
And we do weekly meetings.
Okay, that is.
So I'm saying, so we do weekly meetings. We go through good things from the past week, and then we have what everybody's working on, a running to-do list. So for the next meeting, we can check you on it, like, yo, how's that? How is that going? So I'm saying, so yeah, definitely weekly meetings, and then whether somebody's assigned a project, but most times everyone just undertakes a project they're passionate about at the moment to move something forward. And then once you mention it to us, everybody else is keeping you accountable, with those to-do lists. Like, yo, did you do that this week?
Right.
So I'm saying, did you make that extra step?
Yeah, and then that's where the honesty comes in. Like
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm saying. I mean, like, it's dope that you have somebody that you can partner with to step into a space, because a lot of people, the hindrance for them is that they don't have a team that they can use, right? And I won't discount anything, any value that a team presents. Because when you have a group of like-minded people moving towards a goal, bro, you can move mountains. That's what I'm saying. You can move mountains. But I think it's easier to develop a team than people kind of present.
Okay. Well, yeah. Talk on it, because
it's easier.
I be overthinking it, boy. I be like, dang, like, how do I do this?
I think what we haven't mastered yet is like being able to network with people, right? Because we spend a lot of time interacting with people on social media, on social networks, but a lot of times we're not really talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I think what a good strategy for somebody who wants a team, what I would do if I had to start from scratch and I didn't know Shaun, I didn't know Kel, I didn't know Matt, didn't know Drew, right? What I would do is I'd showcase who I am, right? I'd put forward my interests every day is what I would talk about on social media, is my interests. So I'm saying somebody within that following group of people following you, bro, is going to respond to that.
For sure.
Somebody's going to respond to that, bro.
For sure.
So I'm saying, y'all going to have y'all conversations before you know it, bro. There's a lot of things that y'all align on. You feel me? And then y'all can move forward.
Right.
But you can develop a team, bro. It's easier than people present it, bro. A lot of times we want to make like hills mountains. You feel me? And like, little bumps in the road, like roadblocks. But we got to find a way to move past stuff like that. You feel me? For sure.
That makes me think, right? Because I feel like sometimes, like, I have the vision of what I want to be or who I want to become, but I'm not necessarily there. You know what I'm saying? I haven't necessarily done the things to get there. And so when you're at that step one, you know what I'm saying, and you're talking about your interests, you know what I'm saying, how do you then, put the pieces together and then really move forward? How would you speak to someone on that?
Personally, I would just see, what my weaknesses are, first and foremost. Like you're saying, like identify, where I am, where I want to be, what's the gaps, what don't I have? You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And then I would bring in, pieces, players, so I'm saying, to fill those roles.
That's a bar right there. That's a gem right there. Yeah.
But you got to do that self-evaluation first round. So I'm saying you got to do that self-evaluation. A lot of people aren't honest enough with themselves to even say like, "Yo, I'm not really good at that."
Yeah. So do you feel like you guys have done that in terms of like, I'm talking like write it down, like visualize, like how do y'all work that process?
A lot of things we were able to skip the line on because, you know, of course we've been friends for a while, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So I know Shaun is good at this. I know I'm not good at this, right? I know Kevin's good at this. I'm not good at that. So a lot of things I was able to like, pick up on early and like step out of certain roles, put somebody else into a role, right?
I'm always 100. I tell everybody all the time, my to-do list memory is terrible, bro. So I'm saying, so like anytime like, you know, a project comes up, like I'm just like super transparent with like, what I think I'll be able to do.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, I don't run from anything, of course. You know, if I'll step up, you know, try to adjust, but you know, we can't spend too much time trying to make our weaknesses our strengths. So I'm saying, especially when the ball is moving fast.
Always.
So I'm saying, like, if something comes up, if it's a weakness of mine, Wayne, like, dang, I don't think I'm the one for that. So I'm saying,
but you gotta be honest with yourself, though. You feel me? You don't get to that.
He's gonna do it. We're gonna outsource it, whatever it may be. But that first step is just being honest with yourself and your partners.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, about those weaknesses.
So we can't waste no time.
Right, so now y'all got me thinking like, right, like with what I'm doing right now, right? It's called CrystalVzns, right? And I had this idea from high school, you know what I'm saying, way back. And so like really what it is like I'm like the creative director of the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, I'm kind of putting pieces together to, you know, whatever. And I mean, it sounds like that's kind of how y'all was, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all had this vision for this whole thing, right? And then you said, all right, boom, I'm a get the client and then connect the person or whatever. So how do you make that first step of getting that client to then connect the person, you know what I'm saying, then you right there and you make the magic happen, you know what I'm saying? So I guess before y'all was actually shooting, you know, talk to me on that process a little bit.
I think the first thing that we found out was like what it is that people wanted.
Okay.
Out of the gate, right? Because we're not gonna offer a service if we don't even know what people are looking for.
Okay.
Right? So just like I said, we started by paying attention. We were in the room, we were hearing, so we saw what these photographers were shooting with their clients. We saw what their clients liked, what they didn't like, what they were looking for, right? And if I can identify that, and I can identify the individual who can provide that, right? I can connect the pieces, right? But I can't get in that individual if I don't know what my ideal client is looking for, right? So we hyper focus on that. So we built the profile of what our ideal client was first and foremost, right?
Their age,
yes,
where they are, what kind of music they
their
like,
disposable income,
what colors, how much money they have.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've tried to sit down and do that. How do you actually do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I get to a certain point where it's like, so, okay, 20 something, this, that, whatever.
You gotta get in the room.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta get in the room. Whatever the room looks like for you, whether your client is gonna be, you know. For us, our clients were inside photography studios, so of course, or, you know, they were on Instagram, and we saw who they connected with. But you have to get in the room, as in, and I say that figuratively, you have to get into the space where they exist, and then be a fly on the wall and pay attention to their behaviors, what they do, you feel me?
Okay.
Exactly. So, like, for example, like, luckily, our primary audience is, you know, black women, and, you know, just based on where we live, how we grew up, we're around a lot of black women.
We got
so
sisters, moms, homegirls, you feel
all
me?
of that. So we're able to pay attention to them, you know, see what they like and things like that. But let's say your target audience is a completely different demographic than you're already in. I'd say just follow the demographic, and then ultimately once you start following them, you'll be able to build like connections between what they like and what their interests are,
behavior, stuff like that.
So I'm saying, so let's say you follow 2 different people or 3 different people, and 2 of them post like a page that talks about tables.
Okay.
So I'm saying your best bet is to go follow that page that talks about tables and see what they like about that. So what I'm saying, and then see how you can, you know, use that, take that info and make it relevant to your marketing and your targeting.
Right. So y'all heavy on the the research and the
bro, you gotta get
diving
smart with
deep
it, bro. You
in.
gotta get smart with it, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? As simple as people might see like building a brand is, bro. You gotta nerd out.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta nerd out. You gotta get smart, bro. You gotta put in those hours, paying attention, because there's no. If you skip the line, you're gonna see the negative impacts of like, or the repercussions of skipping the line, skipping the steps in the process. Because you're gonna get to a point where you're like, okay, well, I don't understand what it is that I'm doing right now. You feel me? But you build those blocks piece by piece by piece, and then your foundation of understanding is something for you to truly stand on when you get to the point where it counts.
And then I think, you know, to just add on to that quickly, like when you have a true understanding, it gets fun, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can do, of course, you know, once you have the funds and things like that, but you can truly do what you want with your brand.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, and know that all these decisions I'm making, because it comes instinctual at a point. So I'm saying, so you're no longer questioning your decisions. Your first thoughts are like really good, like 9 times 10 really good decisions. So I'm saying, so you're making those decisions, and it's, you know, so pushing it forward, pushing in the direction you're trying to go.
Yeah, you can take bigger risks now, yeah.
Yeah, because it's instinctual at this point.
Right. Yeah. So talk on the struggle before that, before it being instinctual. You know what I'm saying? Talk on how y'all struggled and then how y'all came over it.
I think one of our biggest struggles, bro, in connecting the dots, because we were working with, like I said, we were working with photographers, right? And it's difficult because we were trying to find somebody to provide that ideal experience for our clients, right? We're trying to find somebody who's going to make sure that the images right out the camera looked amazing, that the customer service was up to par, creativity was up to par, right? But that's like, it's not impossible, but the way we were going about it wasn't the way we should.
Okay.
Right? We were trying to take individuals who already had their brand and their own individual aspirations and kind of trying to get them to live under our umbrella and buy into our vision. And that's not easy when you have somebody who already has their own vision.
Who's set, yeah.
So I'm saying, who's set on their own path. If I say I want to be a photographer and I want to have the biggest photography brand down here in Broward, right? I'm gonna come work for 2711 Studios, but what does that mean?
Yeah, you can't
I'm
tell
not
me
gonna put
nothing.
my 110% in the 2711 Studios because I know, like, yo, my aspiration is to build up my own brand, right? That doesn't make sense for me to do that. I'm saying, so that's kind of different how you approach it. So I think we had to go to the starting line, understanding like that we were doing something wrong there.
Okay.
Right? And then we had to put ourselves into the field because we were trying to play from the sidelines.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're trying to play from the sidelines and just like, yo, getting somebody to do it and then figure it out from the sidelines. But we got in the room, we got to shooting our own sessions, you know, at a skeleton version, paying attention to what our clients wanted, how they wanted to be treated, how they wanted to be spoken to, how they wanted their creative visions to be executed, right? And then because we're in the room now, we can master it. We can figure out what they truly wanted. And now we provided time over time. It's no missing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
instinctual.
Instinctual. You can be
yeah.
consistent with it.
Yeah.
So now it's dope.
Yeah. Man, this is all good pieces. It's all coming together. How it's looking. So, you were saying how like sometimes it's hard, you know what I'm saying, to get somebody else, you know what I'm saying, to really execute your vision, right? And sometimes you have to take that step and, you know, learn and, like you said, build it from the skeleton up. So talk to somebody who, you know what I'm saying, is in that position that knows, okay, I need to get in the field myself. You know, what kind of pieces and things have you learned that now, you know?
I'll be honest. So as far as like, you know, bringing someone under your brand, I don't think we've necessarily mastered it yet.
Okay.
I think that's something we're working on, but you know, like we're doing the research now, you know, trying to understand it. So that I'll say a few things that we've discovered through books. You know, your culture is important. You have to check yourself.
Explain to them when you say culture, what you mean though.
Oh, your culture. So your culture is just, it's those non-negotiable, it's a non-negotiable atmosphere. So I'm saying, and like the best way I can put it is like, yo, for example, if I'm here and you're here, right? And so if I'm at the studio and a client tries to argue with me, so I'm saying, they should get the same, if they yell at me, curse at me, whatever it may be, they should get a certain reaction out of me and they should get that same reaction from you if you're here as well.
Okay.
So just consistent across the board, like an agreed upon non-negotiable way
that we're gonna approach all situations.
We're gonna approach all situations.
And it's not just a matter of confrontation. It's like how you're gonna approach like a vision, how you're gonna approach a task, right?
Yeah.
So once you understand that culture, then once you and I mean truly understand that culture, putting on paper what your culture is, right? Then you can bring people in, because now you're just looking for people who fit that profile of an individual.
Exactly.
Right. So how did you get there to that space to, you know what I'm saying, have your boundaries, you know what I'm saying, your set everything.
It's the
and this is
frictions.
us.
So we had to deal with the frictions of the discourse.
Okay.
Discourse in our partnerships, discourse in our clients, with our clients I should say. So we went in the ring and we got like, you know, boxed up, and then we realized like what we needed to do. You feel me? So it's definitely from experience, so we kinda like, got the scars to show it. But it's an advice for people who haven't gotten to that point yet. You don't have to learn it that way.
Okay.
Focus on what you want right now, how you want your ideal product to look, and then kind of like bring people in who match that profile.
Check yourself too. We were reading a book, and assigned readings are cool too. So I'm saying, like,
for sure.
If you have a team, you know, so you guys are on the same page and understand this, have the same philosophies.
Get on that reading list.
Books.
Yeah.
So I'm saying books, or where you get your philosophies from. But check yourself. So I'm saying, are you a good leader? So I'm saying, are you somebody that somebody wants to, you know, work with? You get what I'm saying? Somebody, you know, do they admire what you're saying? Do they admire your work ethic? You know what I'm saying? I think that's where a lot of people, you know, get it misconstrued. Like, oh, I'm a boss. My worker's supposed to do that. So I'm saying, like, you know, that's not the best way to get somebody to produce. So,
you know, because you have the vision doesn't mean that your role is supposed to be like you're leading people.
Right. Yeah. So I was even gonna think on that. I heard somebody said that you know, somebody who's trying to be a leader, right? They go out and they ain't got no followers behind them. That's just a man taking a walk.
Yeah,
they ain't really, you know what I'm saying? They just out there doing their thing. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So talk on, you know what I'm saying, that leadership and putting those pieces together and knowing your place. Because I feel like, especially right now, everybody want to be number one. Everybody want to be CEO. Everyone want to be top dog. But sometimes it's not a problem with being number two, but being the best number two. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is your spot. Or maybe it's not even numbers. Maybe it's just, you know, how you guys have it. How this is the creative. This is the this. This is the that.
Let me give you a perfect example, right? Shaun is the youngest of our group, right? Youngest of our group. We have people that 2-3 years older than him, right? But Shaun has taken his seat as leading visionary in our brand, right? And it's a way that you can kind of check yourself, right? Because if it was a matter of ego, I'm saying, somebody would be like, well, I'm not going to let this 23-year-old look at me or 24-year-old look at me and tell me like, so I'm saying, this is the direction we going, this how we moving, right? But you have to pay attention to what you are, who you are, right? And then you have to be honest when you identify talent, right? If you tell me something and you say, this is the big picture of what we need to approach, and I see you do it time over time, right? I can develop some level of trust in who you are and your capabilities, right? So I think the biggest issue is a lot of people like wear that ego on their sleeve. So I'm saying, wear that ego, and that ego is blinding, right? Because if I want to be identified as a boss, if I want to be identified as a leader, then it's gonna kind of cloud my judgment when it comes time to make the decision, because I have to make it every time. Right? Yeah. When I may have an amazing decision maker right beside me.
Exactly.
You feel me? I might think I'm the best photographer in the organization, but I might have somebody right beside me that has a way better vision, right? And if I want to keep my leadership role, I'm not going to take your recommendation, but your recommendation could unlock like crazy levels from my work. You feel me?
Right.
So you have to check that ego, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta check that ego.
To second what you're saying completely. Trust. You mentioned trust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think it's easy for us because we trust each other. So I'm saying like I inherently trust dang, when he makes, if Wayne makes a decision, if Kev makes a decision, if Drew makes a decision, Danny make a decision, Matt make a decision, I know, they're making a decision for the betterment of the brand, right? And then we have to also be careful how we beat up on people when the decision turns out wrong. Not that it's the wrong decision, it turns out wrong. Because, you know, there's factors in things we do that are, you know, outside of our, so I'm saying, so it's not, so you trust the person first, and then don't beat up on somebody because they, you know, the decision turned out wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're sitting here, you're listening to this podcast episode, and you're thinking, man, I really wish I could partner with a podcast. If you feel like you would be able to add value to the people who might listen to a podcast like this, aka somebody like you since you're here, then make sure you hit up CrystalVzns, Crystal VZNS. Hit us up right in the DMs. This is very early in the game. You are taking a nice investment right now in this early podcast. And as we grow, I can't promise you that the prices are going to be the same. So make sure you lock in your prices with me right now. Let's get back to the episode. Okay, so man, y'all done talk good. I forgot about all the whole. I ain't even get into the origin and all that, man, because y'all talking nice, man. So talk to me on 2711, you know, the umbrella, the brand. You know what I'm saying? What are some type of things that you know, we could look forward to in terms of, you know, that big vision, you know?
Man, yo, we just going crazy right now. You know, in a very humble way. You know, we never had like access to funds to do a lot of the things we want to do. We've always had like grandiose visions. You know, things are starting to look a little better now. So we're experience trips coming. We're doing 2 in the next year.
Talk on that experience trips, really.
For sure.
You know, get me into it.
Yeah, for sure. So the first one we did was 2019.
Okay.
In St. Louis. Has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy experience. We just had the idea like, yo, we're just gonna go out the country. We all expenses paid for models too. We brought them out the country. And we just created mad content. We connected, you know, not only with the models we brought, because they were strangers. So I'm saying we connected with them, but we also connected with the people on the island. We connected with the island itself. So I'm saying, so experience trip is just that, you know, going out to a country you've never been before, you know, soaking in the experience, soaking in that culture, and creating it, capturing it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
The first time we went to actually shoot our brand that we were dropping, right? So we brought the models out to kind of create that experience and kind of get like an organic feel to our brand. But now, our approach now is to create that feeling for other people's brands too. So we're kind of doing it on steroids now. So we're connecting the content creators, the brand owners, and the creatives, and creating a utopia for content creation. So it's gonna be like, you know, complete reciprocity with what you get. So if you're a brand owner and you want your brand to be showcased by some dope creatives, right, and some dope talents when it comes to models and ambassadors, then this is a perfect opportunity for you. If you're a creator and you want to shoot some dope talent and have a crazy experience out the country, you know,
build your portfolio, something dynamic that, you know, the person next to you isn't necessarily gonna have. And then if you're a model, then of course this is an amazing opportunity for you to shoot with the creators you always wanted to shoot with, and, you know, lock in with the brands that's gonna provide real opportunities for you in the future. So we really created, like, you know, an entire utopia for content creation and everything that somebody could benefit from. You feel me?
Right. How do y'all come up with that? You know what I'm saying? That whole, that's kind of big. Like you said,
big.
It's intuitive.
But it's like you said, you know, it's grandiose plans, because, you know, at the skeleton is common sense, like, you know, creating something like this. But it's just, you know, trusting yourself to take the step and take the leap to do something that's outside the box. It
starts with one idea though. Because it started. My initial idea was like, yo, just going out the country to create. And then once I mentioned it to like Wayne, Daniel, Kev, Matt, Drew, like, yo, it just grew. It took a life of its own after that. Like, yo, nah. All right, so we're gonna go out the country, we're gonna create something, but we're gonna do this with it. So I'm saying, when he said something, then Daniel said, nah, then we gonna put this on it. So I'm saying we came together and just created something crazy. That's why I say, like, yo, being on the same page with your team, like, it's immaculate. So I'm saying, having the same philosophies, same approaches when it comes to business, it's gonna take you far, man. You're gonna create a lot of things that are like, yo, really coherent with your purpose and your destiny.
Yeah, so with how does someone like tap into that service that you have?
So when it's the appropriate time, when we roll out the launch, we're gonna create of course opportunities for people to submit their entries online.
Okay. I got you. So right now with studios and everything like that y'all got, how can somebody tap into your services, get in contact with y'all?
That's easy. We made it extremely easy for somebody to book it. That's one of our trademarks is how easily we get booked. And of course, if you're a creative, big advice to you, lower the bar entry for people to book your services. Focus on that client acquisition process from somebody viewing your services to being able to be in front of you and receiving your services. So we made it smooth sailing. You can book us in like a minute and a half, bro. It's that easy.
You can book without even knowing you book.
Without even knowing. Okay.
It's a fine-tuned process, trust me.
Okay. So, man, I think we touched on a few things today, man. Is there anything in y'all minds that you could think of that you might want to influence again that person that they got all they resources, they might know a little something about themselves, but they don't know how to apply it, put it all together, and make the cake with it.
I mean, my quick advice, would be, just like you said, what we mentioned when we first started, locking in, taking the opportunity to educate yourself and get smart, invest in yourself, invest in your education, investing the tools that you're gonna need, to propel yourself and your brand forward. You can't discount that. 3 years in business now, and I still rely on the fundamental knowledge that I picked up on day one. You feel me? So definitely, invest in yourself, invest in your education. You can't lose, man. Can't lose.
Oh, second that. See, okay. That just threw me a little bit back. Talking about, like you said, the fundamentals of it. I'm getting to that space where I'm realizing that like things aren't as complex as you make it seem in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's like it's the same
you
formulas.
Some levels when you realize that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. All right, for sure. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's a few formulas. You know what I'm saying? If it's not one, you know what I'm saying? It's five. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's just formulas. You know what I'm saying? You take it, you apply it right here, and you expand on whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So. Talk on getting to that consciousness of understanding that it's not hard, it's simple, it's just a formula. Books? Okay.
When you said your books are your foundation, your philosophy, bro, you have to tap in, you have to read, bro. You have to read. So I'm saying that foundation of knowledge that's going to open your mind and enlighten you, that's everything, bro. That's everything.
Man, well, hey, man, I think we done did everything, man. I appreciate y'all boys for coming through.
Facts.
For sure. Yeah, man. So, in terms of, this is going to be a little general question. We had touched on it a little bit, but how can a creative director, you know what I'm saying, tap in with y'all?
Just hit us up.
Yeah.
DM us, 2711 Studios. For sure, we love to create. Always looking to collaborate with anybody, work with anybody.
Yeah, I'm saying for sure. Just hit us up, man. We ready to work.
I got you. So I'm gonna be hitting y'all up. I'll be hitting y'all boys up, man. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Let them know where they can find you. On the Instagram if you guys got personal, whatever it is. Yeah.
My personal is Shaun Grant. So number 1 SHAUN Grant GRANT on IG.
It's VSOP.Wayne, and for the studio, 2711 Studios, man. Tap in, man.
2711, man. Y'all boys heard it first right here on the CrystalVzns podcast, man. Again, make sure y'all tap into CrystalVzns. Make sure if you listening on this on Spotify and Apple Music, give us 5 stars, man. If you see this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate y'all boys again for sliding.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.